Okay, we're here at Vinyl Groove Café in Lytham with the legend Ian Barnett. Why did you open this cafe?
Well, I've been in the industry for a long time, as long as you, and I just really done all my travelling, wanted to be somewhere a little bit more local, and I wanted to do something. I just turned 47, wanted to do something to combine all my passions. So I've been collecting music for ages, and I was a chef when I left school, worked in Michelin-starred restaurants for 5 years, so I just thought, what a great way to combine all my passions into one little business, selling records, selling great coffee and food, and selling great technology.
So as far as technology, and I'm using a lot of our favourite kits, Sonos, which is obviously reliable. You spoke about it streaming, obviously a vinyl. Can you tell a little bit more about what you've got in the cafe?
Yeah, well, we basically wanted to have some nice background music, and we decided on Sonos. No surprises there, because I know it really, really well. But one of the interesting things, when you actually look around the cafe, we've got 2 Play 1s, we've got 2 Play 3s, we've got the wireless sub, we've got a Play 5, we've got 2 Connect amps, one providing the monitor audio in-ceiling speakers in the orangery, and the second Connect amp supplying weatherproof monitor audio climates for the courtyard. You might look at it and think, wow, there's a lot of speakers there. But what we wanted to do, and hopefully maybe you can just hear in the background, is that by using lots of speakers, we can sort of have the volume at quite a low level, because there's nothing more infuriating trying to have a conversation with a friend in a cafe or restaurant. You can't hear each other speak. And we think, Sonos is a great solution to do that. And we've also partnered up with ControlWise. We've installed one of these fantastic iPort launch port wall stations. And this basically is our Sonos controller. It lives behind the counter there, and it's a great way of controlling the Sonos. And if I'm not near that, I just pull out my smartphone and control the Sonos via that. So we're quite keen to install as much technology in the cafe as possible, but things are going to get really exciting when we complete the next project, which is Windmill Audio Sonos apartment.
You've got an expansion going to go on upstairs, putting in a Sonos, but it's not a traditional showroom. It's built into the 1-bedroom apartment, and obviously to show that type of technology off. Great concept, and I think it would really work well for the business.
Well, six years working for Sonos, I'd like to think that I know it fairly well, and I wanted to, demonstrate it and present it in a different way. You go to, mention no names, some of the big electronic superstores, and you're just looking at it on shelves. What we want to do with the Sonos apartment in Windmill Audio is present it in real life, living room environment, and basically people can hear it in the best possible way.
Okay, one of the things that I really like about obviously the Vinyl Groove Café is the selection of vinyl that Ian's got on show. And basically, obviously going back to the old days, you used to buy all your vinyl from record stores. There's not that many about. How do you think this whole thing fits now? Is vinyl coming back in a big way? Or?
Well, vinyl's very much been in the news big time in the last year with Record Store Day, and actually they've just introduced the first vinyl chart again, so I think that's a real good indication of why vinyl's on the up. It's never going to get back to the heights it once was, but people like me, I've never stopped buying vinyl, and it's been interesting watching it over the last 5 years where it's been growing, and sort of racking my brains of why I think it's continued to grow, and I think it's because it's something tangible. We've gone through a whole period now where things are stored on little iPods, and you can't really fully appreciate the album artwork on a little 3-inch screen. And also, I think, as I say, tangible. People like to touch, feel, and hold. Look at the lyrics. And it's not just people my age who are coming in and buying vinyl. We're seeing people, teenagers, and they're buying albums for the first time. So I think it's definitely on the up, and maybe what we're doing here is a quite interesting concept, but you only have to walk into the high street in the main city centres and you'll find vinyl on the high street there. But I think people like the personal touch and talking to someone who's passionate about it, and there's nothing more gratifying speaking to someone and saying, have you heard this album? Then I can play it for them, and then they walk out the store with it. It's a brilliant feeling.
So Ian, looking at the artwork that you've got throughout the cafe itself, you're using two artists. One of the artists is using obviously vinyl is a main part of the actual artwork, and you have another artist in your conservatory out the back. Tell what's so important about this artwork and why you have it here.
Well, there's a real quick story how I got involved. I was basically down on business in London, and just outside London there's a great gallery called Montague's Gallery, and I was walking past. I remember it's absolutely peeing it down one night, and I looked in the window and there's a Robbie Williams. Now, I'm not a huge Robbie Williams fan, but I looked closely and basically it's from an artist from Stoke called Ben Riley, and what he does is he produces these pieces which are really, really impressive, as you can see, which are made 100% of vinyl. So he doesn't use pen, he doesn't use paint, he uses sort of a collage of broken vinyl pieces, and the very fine detail you can see in the images is ground down vinyl. So when you stand from a distance, you know, you can tell who it is. We've got three pieces. We've got a Jimi Hendrix, we have a John Lennon, and we also have a Bob Marley. And when you stand from a distance, you can tell who they are, but when you go right close, you can see the broken vinyl and the vinyl dust. And then we've complemented that with another artist who I'm a big fan of called Pete McKee, and he's an absolute legend in Sheffield, and he does a whole series of different sort of themes, and one of them is around music and vinyl, and we saw the opportunity of putting some of his pieces out on display, around the cafe.
Yeah, and obviously we've only been here about an hour, and I've got to say the place has been buzzing. You've obviously got the mix right between, great food, music, beautiful decor. So obviously good luck to you in the future on all of this venture.
Yeah, no, thanks very much.
Hey guys, thanks for watching our video. Click below to subscribe and be sure to follow Inside CI on Twitter, Facebook and Google+.